our good friend and Hall of Famer, Michael Irvin. Well, he's got the Cowboys kicking off in about 15, 20 minutes, so we'll try to get as much of his attention as humanly possible while he can spare that for us. Michael, thank you for joining us. What a frustrating night for the 49ers last night in Denver. They just couldn't get anything cooking with Jimmy Garoppolo. Really, they couldn't stay on schedule, and when they got to third down, they were 1 for 10. That is a tough way to go about a night.
Yeah, it is, and it was a Denver plan that said, listen, we know Garoppolo hasn't got much work. If you can take Garoppolo and anybody besides Debo and Kittle and beat us, we'll let you do it. We're going to let you do it. If you watch that game, they had 3-4 people around Kittle and around Debo every play. And they just said, if anybody else can beat us, let's see it. And of course, it did not happen.
As you look at the 49ers through 3 weeks, and maybe going back to last season and before that, do you have a pretty good idea of what they're going to run on any play? Have they become that predictable?
I don't know if they're that predictable, where you know what they're going to run, but you do know the things that they do well. And a lot of times they do it so well that it doesn't matter that you know it, because like as I said, there are so many different great, I think, blocking schemes. So even with certain plays, the different blocking schemes take you up on a different angle, and you can still have some great success. But every team have bread and butter plays. My team, we ran slant routes, deep ends, and deep outs. Those are bread and butter plays. We're going to run them all the time. We're going to run them at low left, low right. Those are bread and butter. When we get in those tight situations, everybody goes back to the plays that they're most comfortable with. So when people start talking about people are so predictable, sometimes that's just noise.
Michael, what do I know about who's getting out-coached in one particular moment, and my X was superior to your O, and that's why I'm winning tonight and you're losing. But Kyle Shanahan has now lost against a rookie head coach making his NFL debut in a monsoon in Chicago in week 1, and has now lost another game on the road to Nathaniel Hackett, who had about as poorly reviewed a coaching debut as anyone could have. How much bloom do you think is officially off the Kyle Shanahan rose here? It doesn't feel like he's as special as he used to be, and all the talk about all the sophisticated run game that he puts together, so what? So what? So you can run the football. Congratulations. A lot of teams run the ball. A lot of teams run the ball. The Tennessee Titans run the ball. They don't say it's a sophisticated run scheme. They say, we got Derrick Henry. So I think I need an NFL head coach who knows how to throw the ball and develop an offensive passing attack in just the way that this league works right now. And I don't know if we can look at Kyle and say, yeah, that's what he does anymore. That's who he is. That's what he does.
Well, and listen, I'm going to give you this because I know it's so funny. Now Danielson will outwork Mr. Miyagi in this situation. I mean, what do you say you want to see someone that throws? Are you looking for Mike McDaniel? You're looking for Mike McDaniel, something like that, who's gone to Miami and woke up that team and got that team undefeated, with a tour. You see what I'm saying? When you say that passing coach, is Sean McVay? Because I think all of those guys kind of started around Shanahan. You see what I'm saying? You're telling me you want one of those guys that they have. I want one of those like they got.
Well, I don't know. How about this? I don't even know what I want. But what I believe now is that Kyle Shanahan no longer wears the crown of, I'm the only guy who could possibly get the most out of the 49ers. Like, they got a pretty damn good roster. I wonder what another coach would do with it. I wonder what new eyes on the product would do to the product.
Yeah, you think... Okay, then let's go this route. I'm willing to run this route with you then. Let's talk this route.
This is the only kind of route I'll ever be able to run with you, so this is exciting.
Hey, who out there do you think is ready to come and give you what you need in the whole coaching rank. Who you think you got someone out there that can give you what you need?
So for the very first time, we do have an X marks the spot of that answer.
What's that X?
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton? Well, I knew that someone's going to doubt. I mean, I don't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that. Yes. Now listen, I love Sean Payton. I do, and I understand you guys want to put that battle up against Kyle Shanahan, because I do think Sean Payton is special. I don't know how Sean Payton and John Lynch will work, or if we're going to just have Sean Payton, because Sean want to do his thing too. But even that, I don't know that I'm willing to trade Kyle Shanahan for Sean Payton right now for your situation, to be totally honest with you, and for your talent. It works, that system, for that talent. You start tinkering around with systems and talent, you can almost get that mess. I know they just beat you, but it looked like a mess right there in Denver. And say what you will about Nathaniel Hackett and beating Kyle Shanahan. Nathaniel Hackett didn't beat Kyle Shanahan. Russell Wilson did some of Russell Wilson's stuff. I personally don't even know if Russell Wilson can get that system that Hackett's trying to get him and be so successful. He's never been a rhythmic quarterback. Drop back 3 steps, let it go. Read off, let it go real quick. He's always created things that made things happen. And when that game was as ugly as it could get, in order to try to win the game, he went back to doing Russell Wilson stuff. So they'll still go have to work. They'll still have to work through. Do our system fit our quarterback? Right now, I think y'all got to be careful with all of that.
Let's move past the coach for a second. Without Trent Williams now for about 4 weeks, and without Elijah Mitchell, their best running back, how screwed are the 49ers? And if it's only a little bit, please say so. If it's a lot, please say so.
And it's not just the players that you're missing. It's what those players bring that you're missing. Trent, when you see the 49ers, when you guys walk out, they did it again yesterday, it's Trent and Debo walking leading. So now you're not just losing talent, you're losing go power. The people that make things go. It's run like a company. The CEO may be the head coach or the quarterback, but each position has its own manager. And you lose managers of positions, then things start getting shaky. And Trent is certainly a serious manager of his position and a big-time leader on that team. So that's hard to replace. Even if you can find somebody that can help you replace the talent, it's still hard to replace the manager.
Michael Irvin here on 95.7 The Game for his weekly chat about what happened this past weekend in the NFL. And, a lot of people are crushing Jimmy, and understandably why. He had a really bad night of football. But the one thing that I will give him in his press conference saying, hey, even though last week he was talking about it was, like hopping on a bike, there was a lot of good feeling about him returning last week. He basically said, I'm not in football shape yet. And I'll give him that. I'll absolutely give him that, knowing how odd the walk-up to his training camp and to the preseason were, and he wasn't taking first-team snaps until Lance snapped his ankle. So, I'll give him that. How long did it take you to get your body into NFL game-ready shape, and how much longer until Jimmy can't use that as an excuse again?
Well, it's two different positions. I mean, quarterback, you're not sprinting around all day, but so you can get yourself there. Jimmy's been doing some kind of conditioning because he went through a game last night. But I'm sure he was tired. I'm sure he was worn out. And you give he should be able to get up to speed another week or two. Now you're playing a wide receiver position. It's a different thing, because even when you get into some form of shape, maybe you can run a quarter, but we got to get you ready for 4 quarters and possible overtime. And it's going to take every bit. It's everything is on your legs when you're a receiver, running back. So that takes longer for you to really get in the game shape and have to work through it. But a quarterback, he got through a game last night. in the next 2 weeks, Jimmy G should be back to who he needs to be, because it's a system he already knows. It's already engrafted in his spirit. He's already been training. He just has to fine-tune the mental parts of it. When he saw that throw, you see that throw, Jim. You see that throw. It's a tight one to throw. You had made the throw, and all the circumstances surrounding you right now is making this throw a tight throw. Man, they just let me get back. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to. And then the ball skips on the ground before it hits, gets to the receiver. I thought he would be playing more loose than I thought than he played. But that's a tough place he was put in, man. That's a hard place to be trying to turn around and say, let's go and win a football game.
Can I ask you a little bit about quarterback mechanics? Because I was talking about this, and, rightfully people say, well, Damon, you're just a sports talk radio host. You're not a coach in this league, and you certainly don't know quarterback mechanics. So stop talking like a coach who knows things. And look, I don't know what coaches know. I never will. But I got a lot of football on these eyeballs in my life, and I know what footwork looks like, and I know what uncomfortable in a pocket looks like. I know what quiet feet look like. Jimmy does not have quiet feet. And it looks like he's got a lot of arm and no real lower body throwing motion in so many of his throws. I mean, he was trying to set his feet underneath him last night to the point where he took a safety, Michael. He stepped out of the end zone because he didn't know how to set his feet up right in the drop back of just the natural drop back. How much did you see of Garoppolo that just made you think that guy's uncomfortable? And for someone who's this deep into an NFL career, should have better mechanics than that.
Yeah, but uncomfortable with the situation too, though. And Jimmy, I don't want to kill Jimmy, because he has had some success in this league. It didn't look good last night, but he has had some success. And I thought that was as toughest position you could be in from that position of where he's been in. Saying, hey, don't worry, you're not going to be around here. Basically getting comfortable. I'm gonna just collect this $5-6 million, until somebody needs me. Oh, wait a minute! Oh my God, I'm up. Yeah, you're up, and you're the man, and we need you bad right now. And to go and put it and get that game in, that's a tough situation. But yeah, you could tell the mechanics were off on some things, and that's just trying to get back to game speed. Jimmy ain't had nothing anywhere near real game speed. He's trying to get back acclimated to that. I've seen him on that other field over there throwing around by yourself. Air don't move around like the Denver Broncos were moving around.
You've been a player for a volatile owner in Jerry Jones. When you read that Mark Davis went into the coach's office after yesterday's Raider loss in Tennessee and spent a lengthy amount of time in there. If you're a player, do you start wondering about how safe your coach is, and how does that affect you as a player if you think that it does?
If you're a player in Dallas and that happens, then you start wondering. But you're a player in San Francisco, that's a different thing. It's a different thing, different relationship there, and a different thing. I don't even think if you're a player in Las Vegas, I don't think you sweat it, because right now Josh isn't going anywhere. Josh McDaniels just got it. They're 3 games in. They're not going to say, okay, goodbye, take that big old money we gave you and walk out. They got to give this a little time to work itself out a little bit and to move itself. But boy, I'm gonna tell you something. Woo! I don't know when he goes to sleep what Devontae Adams is thinking about. I don't know when Kudagos and Budagos, whatever his name is over there, where the Packers go to sleep, what he's thinking about. But I bet if we can ever put one of them bubbles over each one of them head, we'll see each one of them is saying, what the hell have I done? That's what I'm saying. Each one of them would be like, why did we stay together? I must believe that.
What do you think Cooper Rush does tonight against the New York Giants? Are the Dallas Cowboys looking at a win in New York tonight to upset the Brian Daboll hype machine?
It's all about how he starts off. If he adheres to his last name, rush on this football field, rush down this field to put some points on the field quickly, then he could take out the rush of the New York Giants. He got a shot. But if the Giants can sit back and run that football, I think it's going to be hard on Dallas.
I'll say this, Michael. I don't know if anybody in the NFC East can even pretend to be as good as the Eagles look to be. And, man, Jalen Hurts. Who knew?
It's scary. It is scary. I didn't know as quarterback you can get to this place and that kind of improvement. Let me tell you what's really scary. Dude. I heard a saying. I heard a quote that Jalen Hurts said, and it tripped me out, man. I love it so much, I don't know what to do. It tripped me out. He said, I told all my players, my big-time playmakers, all the leaders on his team, all the Arthur Warren and the Devontae Smith, he told them, we cannot just be in the room and feel the temperature. We must all be the thermometer. Oh, my God. Are you serious? That means you're telling all dogs to let's fight to set the tempo. And then if you make the play, you go over there and get that Batman thing and throw it on your back. And it's all Batman, no Robins, only Batman takes. They're saying only big boys here, and only big boy make big boy plays. I love what they're doing, and I talked about it earlier this summer, and it looks like a scary thing is happening that I talked about. That team is coming together. They look good because they can beat you. They beat you 1 week with Devontae Smith. They beat you next week with A.J. Brown. Then they beat you next week running the football with a running back that squats 600 pounds. I mean, and then they come back and get you with 9 sacks. Now, the 9 sacks, I want to see if you could do that when it ain't somebody that you had something with because he was in your locker room. I want to know that's not just a one-game motivation to get Carson Wentz, but this is an every-game thing that you can do, and they got the players to do it.
You going to remember your glasses when you go to the set next time?
I will have those glasses, man. I'll never do that again.
You were a little squinty. Little squinty that day. Michael, thank you so much, man. Great to talk to you. And go enjoy some Monday Night Football tonight.
All right, guys. Always good to talk to you guys.
Thank you so much. Michael Irvin. Forgot his glasses on set. Leaning into that teleprompter. Leaning in.